Hello and welcome back to Sector Wargaming. Got a really good one for you today. It is, of course, the lion versus the wolf. So...
Yeah, first time I've dug my space walls out in about 2 years now due to global pandemic, and the last time I used them was at Greetings for the Wolf, where I put together a...
horrendous list?
Horrific list.
Fortunately, you haven't got that with you today, though, have you?
No,
You've
got a bit much, I think.
Bit more balance. Again, I'm using my Iron Wing Rite of War, so you've seen my list before. It's very cool. But we're really looking forward to it. We're doing a Dawn of War deployment and Tide of Carnage. That's right. So basically, what we've got to do is clear the different parts of the table. So enemy deployment zone, your deployment zone, and no man's land. You get a certain amount of victory points depending on on which area it is, and we'll sort that out at the end of the game, obviously. So
be backing it up, but no, it's going to be nice to see the wolf versus the lion.
Just glad to see your space walls out again, D. It's been so long since I've actually seen them in play.
Been waning on the space walls of late, mainly because I've been focusing on my Iron Warriors.
Because they're easy to paint.
I've painted too many Iron Warriors.
And you continue to paint Iron Warriors.
Because they're too bloody easy, that's why.
Dirty Iron Warriors. But yes, there we go. Looking forward to this. Let's see the armies and let's get into it. .3,000 points of Dark Angels using the Iron Wing Rite of War. Led by the Primarch himself, Lionel Johnson. With him, I've got a Delegatus, so I can actually take the Rite of War, and of course, some Inner Circle Knights to provide some bit of background, all mounted in a Spartan. My tactical choices are 2 tactical squads, all armed the same. A Sergeant with Artificer Armour and a Combi Grenade Launcher with Stasis Grenades, because they are the best thing about Dark Angel armies. And a Recon squad, which will be outflanking to try and capture objectives. All the Rhinos are armed the same with multi-melters. I've got the Contemptor Mortis there with 2 carries assault cannons. In the Iron Wing Rite of War, they actually get Tank Hunter as well, so it comes in really, really handy. For a bit of heavy support, I've got my Omega Tank Hunters. Admittedly, not the best at actually taking out tanks, much better at dealing with infantry. Moving on to my other heavy support choice, I've got a Plasma Executioner for Predator Executioner, which can deal out a lot of damage. And finally, the 2 children of the army, the 2 Sabres with their twin Volkite loadout. So get as many shots as I can off with those. So there we go, 3,000 points. Dark Angels, Iron Wing. Before the game starts, the Inner Circle Knights are taking Reaper of Hosts. So if they're outnumbered, they'll get an extra attack. So I've chosen, obviously, as my unit option of choice is the Lion. Mainly because he is the Primarch of the Dark Angels. I love this model. I love the rules for him. He's absolutely brilliant. And of course I had to choose him to fight against the Wolf. It's like an unwritten law. In fact, I think it might be written into some of the rules sometimes to do as well. For the duels. So yes, absolutely love this model. I've armed him with the Lion Blade, because of course I did.
Here we have 2,998 points of space wall using the Bloodied Claws Rite of War. So moving on, I'm going to start on the left and work my way around. I have a Legion Centurion on a Jetbike. He has Melta bombs and a Frost Blade on his Scimitar Jetbike Armoured Heavy Bolter. I have a 5-man reconnaissance squad. They're armed with combat shotguns and no other equipment. 5-man tactical support squad, all armed with flamers and additional close combat weapons in a Rhino with extra armour, Dozer blade and a multi-melter. I've got a Land Raider Spartan with all the bells and whistles, so armoured Ceramite, Dozer blade, flare shield and assault frag launchers. Tactical support squad of 10 models with Volkites with additional close combat weapons. They'll be joined by my Master of Signals, who is completely stock standard. 2 individual Javelin units, each has their Cyclone missile launchers and 200 kilo missiles each with their multi-melters. 2 identical Grey Slayer squads, Each is armed with 3 power fists, 4 power swords, 2 power axes a Vexilla, 5 combat shields, and the Huscarl is armed with a frost weapon, Melta bombs and combat shields. I have 2 identical units for my slayers. I have a Legion Praetor with a full complement of company command squad. The Legion Praetor is only equipped with a Paragon blade and no other equipment. The company command squad is equipped with 2 power fists, a power sword, a power axe, and the Legion standard has a power fist as well. 4 of the models also come with bolt guns as standard. Then we come on to the man himself. We've got the Varagyr squad. Varagyr are armed with a multitude of weapon systems, from chain fists, frost claws, frost swords, and power fists and frost claws. And these will be the heralds for Leman Russ himself. This will be, I think, the 2nd or possibly 3rd time I've ever used Russ on the battlefield. Fingers crossed he'll do some good against the Lion. I'll be able to do some serious damage, and we'll see how things pan out. Let's face it, it wouldn't be a game of the Lion versus the Wolf if the Wolf wasn't there. So the Wolf is coming out to play. Leman Russ and his horrific close combat capabilities is coming out in full force with his Varagyr Terminators. They're going to be charging down the table and hopefully reaping absolute havoc with the Dark Angels. I can't not take him in this game, and at the end of the day, he is the centrepiece of my army.
Dark Angels deployment. It's not often I get to roll first and deploy first with my dice rolling skills, but there we go. So I've deployed, as you can see, a lot of armour deploying there. Basically a big long black line of tanks with my contemptor mortars in the corner there. Basically, I'm trying to get as much firepower and as much targets as possible for when he's deployed, so I can get as much firepower. Because I don't want those Grey Slayer units coming in and totally murdering me in close combat. So, but otherwise, put my Omegas on the far right flank because they're always good to have extra firepower from there. But yeah, other than that, that's Dark Angels deployment. Also, I have 2 recon squads in Rhinos outflanking as well, so hopefully they'll come on and cause carnage like they always do.
Here we've got the Wolves. I've decided to go for pretty much a straightforward, solid deployment. Throwing out my Legion character on his Jetbike just to go and cause some havoc. I've got my Volkites tucked away in a building, hopefully going to be able to provide some fire support, supported by the Master of Signals there. 1 Slayer squad, 2 Slayer squad, and of course a nice command squad to make them fearless. And then we've got the Spartan party bus with Russ and his friends heading straight towards the Lion and his friends. And we'll see how that pans out. And I've got a cheeky flamer squad in a Rhino just tucked away behind there with its multi-melter. And that concludes my deployment. So in reserves I've got my 2 Javelins which are coming on as separate units, and I have my recon squad which will be infiltrating onto the tabletop. I've chosen to put my reconnaissance squad right in the top of the bunker. Normally I use these guys for doing a cheeky outflank or throwing mortar bombs on things, but for this mission I've chosen to put them basically slap bang in the middle of no man's land for pure denial. And we'll see if they can actually get some shotgun shots off at close range targets when things start to get tight in the middle. So let's see if
Don't do it. I don't get first turn very often, D.
Do I seize?
Yay!
No, I do not. So we'll be going on to
Dark Angels turn 1. Dark Angels turn 1 movement, just moving things into a better firing position to take on, try and get as many of these Grey Slayers as possible. They can do a lot of damage in close combat, so my Omegas moving up to take some shots at those Grey Slayers there. The Predator Executioner, again, in a good position to open fire into some more Grey Slayers. I've disembarked the left-hand squad from this Rhino, because again, I need to clear those recon marines out of that building to do anything. So next turn they'll be going into the building to try and do something. But everything's moved up so they're in range to get more firepower. The Sabres, again, opening up. I don't want to get too close to that Spartan, so my Spartan's just sticking back for the time being. And my Contemptor Mortis, again, just ready to open up a whole lot of firepower into this oncoming grey tide of armour. First up for my shooting, my 2 Omegas. I love my Omegas more than anything. I think they're brilliant. They've yet to perform well for me, but I still love them nonetheless. So these 2 are going to open up into the far Slayer squad over there. So I get 6 shots each. I'm hitting on 2s this time because I've got my Iron Wing right before. And I'm twin linked as well, which is quite good. Never mind. So all of those, and I need 2s to kill, which is 7.
the 2 nearest models are actually combat shield guys.
Yep.
So I've got 7 saves to make, and I'll start taking those on the combat shield guys first. 2, 4. So first 2 on 6s. So 1 guy still alive, 1 guy dead. Other guy fails. So that's those 2 guys, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more dead.
And then I'll do all the heavy bolters as well. So I've got 1, 2, 3. That one can't really see, so I've only got 3, 4, 5 heavy bolters. So let me just get all my dice now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavy bolters. Again, hitting on 2s. Get rid of them. And 3 to wound. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds from the heavy bolters.
9 saves. So that is another 3 guys down. So that's 9 guys dead out of that unit.
Oof. The Plasma Executioner next into the other squad, which you can see though, but can only hit 2 of them because D has managed to anti-ordnance formation them. So let's see if the first one hits. And it doesn't, it scatters miles away. 12 inches. So that's not doing anything. The next one
a miss.
Scatters some. So after working out, it actually gets 2 from the squad and 1 from the command squad there. So and then the last one. Let's see the last one. Scatters 2 inches back onto here, getting another 2. So after working all that out, we've got 4 hits onto the actual Grey Slayer unit and 1 onto the command. So the 4 onto the Grey Slayer unit, that's all of those wounded, and 1 on the command.
So the 1 on the command, he's got a combat shield, so he's going to attempt to save on a 6-up. So he saves.
What?
4 on the unit are going to take them on the combat shields because it's a direct fire weapon, so I'll take these on 4 combat shields at front. So combat shields, so 3 guys still die, 1 guy lives.
Yep. And then finally a heavy bolter. So 3 shots on the heavy bolter, which causes 1 wound.
Which I save.
Yeah. The tactical squad inside the Rhino are going to actually open one of the hatches, and the sergeant's going to fire a stasis grenade from his grenade launcher into this unit here. So let's go there. All I need to do is get a hit. That's all I'm after. Scatters 2 inches, so it's going to go here and get 1. But it hits the squad, which is what I'm after. Let's see if that causes a wound. It's only strength 3. Nah, it doesn't. But they are now initiative 1. The sabres there going to open up onto the Grey Slayer unit again. Now these are my babies. These are great. I love my sabres. They're fantastic little things. So they get 10 shots each. That's 20 shots. Because they're in a squadron, they're hitting on 2s. It's a lot of 1s there though. Those miss. That's a 1 as well. And then wounding on 2s. Cheers. That is 4, 8, 10, 13 wounds, D.
Not looking forward to this. 13 saves. And 1, 2, 3 guys die.
Which, with the deflagrate, get 3 more wounds, which is 2 more wounds.
Killing nobody else.
So
3 guys die.
The Contemptor Mortis now. I was originally going to try and finish off that squad, but we've realised they're not in range. So, I'm going to do something a bit tricky and try and take on the Spartan. I am relying on Ren's. He does have Tank Hunter because of the Iron Ring Rite of War. So, I'm hitting on 2s. That one missed, that one missed. So, I now need 6s, but I get my rerolls from Tank Hunter. So that's... Whew. Whoa, I'll take that for no more 6s. So I can't take it out this turn, but I need 5s and 6s again to cause glancing and penetrating hits, which I don't get at all. Lame.
The first luck I've had so far.
The Spartan, the Lion Spartan now. So the quad last cannons are going to shoot into the other Spartan. I can only glance it because of D's flare shield. The heavy bolters are going to use Power of the Machine Spirit into the other squad to see if I can finish it off. So let's do the Power of the Machine Spirit heavy bolters first. So all of those hit, and 2 of those wound.
2 saves, 2 dead.
2 of them go down though, leaving it with 1 left. And then the quad last cannons into the Spartan. Fortunately, they're twin linked. And then 5s and 6s again. Sorry, 6s, isn't it? So that's 1 glance.
It takes a single hull point.
A single hull point. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fire the Melta gun, multi-melta, sorry, into that lone Space Wolf Grey Hunter, Grey Slayer there. He does get a hell of a cover save, but it's if I can take out this squad, that's 1 less thing to worry about. And of course, with it being a multi-melta, it missed.
Yeah, so taking morale on the last model, and the other guys within 6 inches of the standard bearer, so leadership of 9 because Russ is on the table, passes.
Where?
So he is not going nowhere. Kicking off the movement, I have chosen to throw my Centurion on his bike straight down the left flank, trying to make a beeline for those tanks to try and reduce the horrific firepower so I don't get my other Slayer unit deleted in the next turn. My Volkites have held steady, so they haven't moved at all, and they're going to be quite happily sitting where they are, and I'm going to start dropping some ordnance. Oh yeah. My Grey Slayer second unit has moved forward, trying to get some cover from the incoming enemy fire. The command squad have moved up centre, and they're probably not going to do much else other than push up to that building to try and keep some cover before they know which way they're going to need to go, whether it's the left or the right. The Lone Wolf, he has made his move, and my plan is basically to throw him in those saber tanks to see if he can't actually do some damage or die trying. And the Wolf Spartan has moved up its 6 inches, so it's actually going to start trying to coax the Lion out of his box, because Russ will be coming out next turn if he's not. And my tax support squad in their Rhino is trying to make their multi-melta shot make a count for a change and try and take out this mortars before it causes more damage. My Master of Signals is going to use his orbital bombardment. Now you can fire this as a separate unit, thank you FAQ, at the 2 nasty tanks, because they seriously need to die. So first things first, it is a D3 bombardment, so I will be getting 2 barrage, And the first barrage, I'm going to be going for there, because that's where you can see to clip both tanks. So that'll be a shift way too far.
6 inches.
So from there, it's going to go to there and clip one tank and the other one, and then the barrage flip, which is going to flip forwards and clip the Predator. So that's 2 on the Predator and 1 on the...
What did the Predator ever do to you, D?
Shot me. It shot me. So
right.
2 on the Predator first. Obviously this is side armour because it's barrage and each shot is ordnance. So the first one is a glance.
Glance, yeah.
And the second one is a penetrating hit.
Yeah.
So I'll roll for the penetrating hit, and it is a 4.
Which is stunned.
Which is stunned.
Unless it has extra armour.
No.
It's stunned. Can't shoot or move next turn.
Cool.
So, and then the one on the Centurion in the dice tray account is ordnance. Keep forgetting that one. So it is still a penetrating hit, and it is a 6.
Mobilised.
1 immobilised, but that still means it's a a non-mobile defence turret.
Yeah.
Shooting with my Volkite support squad, only 6 of the models can actually draw line of sight, and I'm going to engage the Rhino. The hope is that if I take care of the Rhino, that my Slayers might actually have a better chance of getting it to charge the tactical squad and actually start causing havoc. I need to get into close combat if I'm going to survive the next round of shooting, otherwise it's going to be game over for me. So here we go. So 12 shots, hitting on 3s. Not too bad.
Side armour 11.
So looking at 5s and 6s. So that is 1 glance after all of that. A single glancing hit on that Rhino. The tactical support squad Rhino is going to fire its multi-melter into the Contemptor Mortar's Dread. So hitting on a 3. I am actually managed to hit.
What?
Unfortunately, I'm not within short range, and side armor is 12. So looking at that 4 for a glancing.
For a glance, and I get my
save.
invulnerable save. Yeah. Which I don't make, so he takes 1 glancing hit.
Takes a glancing hit. The Wolf Spartan, bit of a cheeky one here. So I'm going to power the Machine Spirit, the Heavy Bolters, into a enemy Rhino to try and reduce them and get them out into the open, so I can start dealing with them. I'll then be firing 1 quad las cannon at full ballistic skill at the Lion Spartan, and the other las cannon is going to be snap firing at the Spartan. But it is twin linked, so we're going to take that one first. So twin link one first. So 6 is nil point, and then the full ballistic skill for 2 hits and strength 9. So looking at 5 to glance. 2 glancing hits on a Spartan.
2 glancing hits.
That.
3 remaining.
Moving on at full ballistic skill, I will fire the 3 heavy bolter shots into the Rhino, which all hit, and I'm looking for 6s, so 1 whole point off the Rhino. The Centurion on his bike has decided to turbo boost into a more tactical position by flying around the back end of those Omegas in a vain hope that next turn he may be able to actually engage them and throw some melt bombs on the back end of those vehicles. The Slayer squad, they rolled a 6 on their run move, so that comes up to the 7 because obviously they get +1 to all run moves. So they've decided to tuck themselves tightly behind that corner. I was tempted to do the move and charge towards the Rhino, but unfortunately that would leave me at the vulnerability of a pair of Omegas at maximum firepower. I can guarantee I would not last long against that. The command squad, they rolled a 3, so that would be a 4. So they have decided to push up there, and they've decided to tuck themselves as best they can behind that building in preparation to either go left or right, determining how best to apply their fearless bubble to the remainder of the army. And the Lone Slayer made a whopping run of a 5, so he's made it on a 6. And my plan there is it's death or glory. He's going to charge straight at those sabres with his power fist. And because he's got, because of the Rite of War, he'll be gaining +1 some strength, so his base attacks are going to be strength 9. So fingers crossed he'll do some thumping on those sabres. So due to the Warrior's Metal special rule, this guy can actually move, run and then charge. So this is an 8-inch charge, but due to the Space Wolves rule, where they get +1 to their run moves, they lose 1 on their charge move. So this has got an extra 1 inch. So I need to roll a charge of a 9-inch to actually make it into these sabres on next turn. He's
double 1D. Or double 1.
Basically, he's dead. So 9 or more, and it's a 9.
Oh my god!
He is going to start fisting those rhinos.
Oh!
Freezing.
Going in with his Power Fist at Initiative 1, I'm hitting on 3s, and this is a Strength 9 attack against the rear armour.
My children, D. You're going to murder
I don't
these children
care anymore. They murdered my brothers. So hitting on 3s for 2 hits.
Oh no!
And then 2 penetrating hits on the unit. So the first penetrating hit is a 7, so that explodes.
Yeah.
And the second penetrating hit is a 7, so that lone trooper tears apart 2 saber tanks with literally his bare hand and a Power Fist. I'm not going to lie, that's made my day. After that amazing round of combat, we've got one question to ask is, can he walk through the flames and not look back at the explosion, or is he going to die in the 2 explosions that he's just caused?
From murdering children, D.
2 tanks, 2 explosions.
2 explosions. They're going to get 4 inch, like 3
So
inches.
they both hit.
So they both do it, and then 1 wound against him. Die.
So he needs 1 save.
Die.
Which he made. So he's walking through that explosion and he's not even looking back.
So with the explosion, it would have hit the Rhino, but it can't really hurt the Rhino, and none of the tactical squad were in range. Dark Angels turn 2. I've got my 2 reserve rolls first. My 2 recon squads and their rhinos coming from outflank. So let's go first. The first one makes it, and then the second one also makes it. So let's find out which way they're coming on. So on a 1-2, it's the far side. 4-5, it's the near side, and then 5-6, I get to choose. So the first one is coming on the far side, and the other one's coming on where I want. So let's have a think and let's deploy that. Dark Angels turn 2 movement. So, a couple of things first. The recon squads have come in over on one side. They need to try and take out this Rhino first, and then kill whatever's left inside of it. Very aware that the Russ is getting very, very close. So the Lion has actually gotten out of his Spartan this time. But bear in mind, I do get all my Overwatch fire from my plasma guns, from the Inner Knights. The Contemptors have moved up to get a better shot into the command squad there. I'll have to double check to see if he's in range though. The 2 Rhinos, one of the tactical squad that was in the left-hand Rhino has managed to get out and get into the actual building now. So next turn they'll be taking on that recon squad. Now, it does free up the 2 Rhinos to take out that lone wolf that killed 2 of the childlike sabers to try and take them out with their melter gun.
Murder your rhinos next.
The obviously the Predator can't do anything this turn as it's stunned. This Spartan has been immobilised. The Omega's been immobilised, which has split off the other Spartan Omega. Sicker and Omegas. That's right. I know what they're called.
Spartan Omegas.
Spartan Omegas would be amazing. But anyway.
Don't give me ideas, I don't need any more.
So he'll be dealing with that, whereas I need to start whittling down that squad in the building there. Now they are in the building, so they will be getting their cover save. So, but yeah, that's my movement for now. Totally forgetting, with the Rhino moving over 6 inches, the squad cannot get out the back of it. Starting with the Sicaran Omega, not the Spartan Omega like I mentioned before. The Sicaran Omega is going to fire into the building, the squad in the building there. So, first of all, 6 shots from the Omegas. 1 missed, but still missed again because I'm no longer ballistic skill 5. So all of those hit, and 5 wounds into the squad there.
Taking their 4 up cover saves, and 3 guys die.
3 of them go down. So moving on to the heavy bolters of the Sicaran. 1 heavy bolter is full, so that's 2 hits, and 1 more wound.
So that's 4 guys dead.
And then 2 snap firing, which you manage to get 2 hits, and 2 more wounds. I'll just get rid of these.
And 2 more dead, so
Ooh.
6 guys die.
Oh, that's pretty good. the second Omega, opening fire onto the lone Space Wolf Jetbike and Centurion.
Jake!
Yes, I figured you might. So all of those, 3 of those missed though, but I get to reroll it because it's twin linked. So that's 5 hits and 4 wounds.
4 wounds for 4 jinx saving throws, which I make 2 of. 2 go through, which kills him anyway. So he's wiped out.
Excellent. It's one less thing to worry about. The tactical squad's going to open up the back hatch again and fire the grenade launcher into here once again, firing its stasis grenade because initiative 1 Grey Slayers, that's a direct hit. So and again, initiative 1 Grey Slayers. That's all I'm after from that. Totally forgetting I can actually wound them with as well. The strength 3, so I get to roll the wound, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds.
So 4 saves. I'll take these. I'll look out Sir these first because the Huscarl is in the front. So these are going all on the squad. So 2 guys die.
Ooh. Trying to get revenge for that lone wolf that killed the sabres. A lone multi-melter from a rhino. I don't know how well this goes. Let's see if it hits. It does.
He did.
And he goes down. The recon squad's rhino's multi-melter is going to take a shot into the back of the rhino. Let's see if it hits. And it does.
Uh-oh.
It penetrates. And it 6 immobilized.
That.
Which is a bit disappointing.
It is, but I can live with that.
The combi bolter as well. It's because it's moved 6 inches, it can only fire on snapshots, but it is twin linked. So 1 hit, 2 hits. So I need
6 is for glance.
nothing though.
Nope.
Nothing from that. But moving on to the next rhino, it's going to snap fire again into the rhino as well. So snap fire with its multi-melter, it misses. Had a couple of options for the contemptor there. I was originally going to shoot the command squad, but we realised it was only in range of 1, so could have only killed 1 altogether. So the idea now is to try and take out the rhino and force that squad out into the open. So let's get my dice ready. 12 shots from the contemptor mortars. Yeah, hitting on 2s. That's not great. I say it's not great, but tank hunters. So 2 Wrens, and then what do I need? Front armour, 12. So I need
Front line, you need 5 to glance.
So let's reroll all of them. That's 2 more, and that's them. So 4. That's a penetrate. That's a they're all penetrates. Yeah, it's gone. That is 1 destroyed rhino.
Pinning test for that tac support squad, and they are absolutely fine.
I was going to open up with the recon squad now. However, Derek has managed to deploy them on the other side of the rhino, which means I can no longer see them. Which means they're free from the bolt rounds this turn. Moving on to Spartan and Spartan action now. The quad last cannons into the Spartan. Let's see if they all hit. Of course, 14 twin linked. So 3 of them do. 6s, but they don't do anything because of that damn flare shield. And the reactionary, sorry, the other one, Power of the Machine Spirit.
We're playing Zone Mortality.
I have been, yeah, Power of the Machine Spirit into the Heavy Bolter squad, into the Flamer squad. Twin linked. So all of those. And 2 wounds on the Flamer squad.
2 wounds, 2 saves, 1 guy dies.
And with the last bit of my movement and my shooting face, I flat out with the rhino towards the rear end of the other Spartan there.
With Ian finishing his shooting finally, the Volkite support squad will have to take a leadership test. This is on leadership 10. So they pass just by the skin of the teeth because of the presence of Russ. Space Force reserve phase. I've got 2 javelins coming on.
Roll 5.
2 javelins. No, I'm going to roll. Well, so 1 javelin on, 1 javelin off. So on a 1-2, it'll come on my left. On a 3-4, on my right. So it's going to be on my left. And gee, I wonder where that's going to go. Hat start over here. Landspeeder javelins come on from outflank with everything that it's got. It's going to drop it in the back end of that Sakaran Omega. The tactical Volkite support squad is holding its position because they are a scoring unit and therefore are presently holding my own objective. Grey Slayers have moved up there 6 inches. Question is, do I do the move, run, charge and try and get both of those tanks at the same time to mitigate all that firepower that's coming in due to the the Dark Angels either hiding in a building or still hiding in their rhinos. The company command squad, identifying the threat, has decided to move out towards the rhino. And inside that rhino is obviously another squad that is going to be classified as scoring. The flamer unit has moved around my burning rhino and have brought 4 flamers to bear. My hope here is I'll be able to barbecue as many of these marines and probably the tank as well in what happens next. And of course, what you've all been waiting for, Russ is out, the line is out, and it's time for a face-off. The Hall Burners, the tactical support squad of the Flamers, have managed to land a whopping 17 hits on that 5-man unit.
Yep.
Thankfully, due to the small size of the squad, I'm not going to hurt myself at all. So, here we go. So, 17 wounding on 4s.
How many is that?
That will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 wounds.
So that's how many dice I've got. Let's see if I can save them. 1, 2. Only 2 go down to the
Only
flamers.
2 guys down. It looks like I'll have to assault them to finish them off. Spartan opening fire. I'm going to use Power of the Machine Spirit for its right sponson, so that its right sponson can comfortably engage the Contemptor Mortis, and then everything else is going to be firing at the Lion and his entourage. So 2 shots twin linked at full ballistic skill for 2, and then for armor 13 I am looking for 4s to glance. Nothing, absolutely nada. Then the last cannon firing at full ballistic skill into the Terminators. 2 hits and only 1 wound.
So my 4+ is vulnerable, which I fail, so one of them goes down.
And then Heavy Bottler completely snap shooting, so snapshots, no hits, and followed by a single hit, and no wounds.
So one of the Terminators is down.
To ensure the kill here, I am choosing to fire every single thing that it's got. So
Firing what?
Everything! Everything! So
Carry
firing
on.
hits, 2 hunter killer missiles first on 2s, 2 hits, 2 cyclones, all hit, multi-misser. Misses! Of course it misses. So 4 crack missiles on its rear armour of 12. I'm looking for 4s. That is 3 penetrating hits, so it's gone regardless, and I can't explode it, so I think I'll just stop there. So run moves, my Lone Slayer squad is going to make a run move towards the Predator and the Seeker and Omega. My hope here is that in the charge phase, I will be able to multi-charge 2 vehicles. I'll not get my extra attack, but I do still get the +1 strength, so my basic troopers attacks are going to be strength 5, and obviously with all the additional weapons I've actually got going in there, I could potentially cause some serious damage. So, here we go, making the run move, and obviously I get +1 on my run move, so please don't be rubbish. So 5, so that's a 6-inch run move, so I'm quite pleased with that. This is where they've ended up. To the Predator, it is going to be an 8-inch charge, but to the Sycoran, it's going to be a 10-inch charge. Tactical support squad charging in. It is a 2-inch charge, so fingers crossed I'll actually make it.
I will be overwatching first.
Overwatch away.
Get my overwatch. None of them do anything though, so it's straight on to Yosh.
So charging in there, so they comfortably make it in, so they'll charge in now. Command squad making its charge. It's a 6-inch charge. They didn't run in the previous turn, and they can't run and charge. So 6-inch charge is what I need to make, and I make it on an 8, so they have comfortably charged in. Grey Slayer's charging now. My primary target here is going to be the Predator. I need an 8-inch charge to get that, but I am declaring a multi-charge, so I need to get a 10-inch to actually get to the Seeker and Omega. So let's see if I can actually make that, and remember, I'm at -1 on my charge distance. So I need 8 to get to the Predator and 10 to get to the Seeker. And I roll
Not
6,
enough.
so not enough. They failed to charge.
Fully expecting the charge. This unit's quite good for receiving charges because you'll get the overwatch from the Lion himself and all the Inner Circle Knights plasma burners, which get a reroll failed overwatch hits, even if they are in cataphractic armor. So, with this, let's start with the Lion's Fusel Arcanist. So, none of those hit, unfortunately. I've got my Delegatus's Volkite in there. Again, nothing there. But I do get 8 shots from all the plasma burners.
I'm not looking forward to this.
So 1 hit, and all those miss. So only 1 hit though. It's only strength 4. It does do one wound though.
So 1 4-up save on a Varagyr, who's on the front rank, who saves.
So not as good as I was expecting, but still good.
So Wolves finishing their charge in, and they roll a whopping 2 inches and just managed to make it.
to make it in.
Technical support squad with the Slayers. The Hall Burners are going in with their close combat weapons. So I have my attacks, additional close combat weapon on the charge. So I am weapon skill 5. So hitting on 3s.
Yep.
That's the board.
Uh-huh.
And then only strength 4 because they're only additional close combat weapons and they don't get the extra bonus for charging. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds
So
on
5
the
wounds
unit.
onto the unit. Well, they're dead.
But you do get a strike back.
I do get to do my attacks back. So my sergeant is still alive, so I get my 4 attacks, hitting on 4, so 2 hits, and 2 wounds.
2 wounds and 1 guy dies. Consolidation move for the wolves, so that gets +1, so I get a 5-inch consolidation. Charging in with the company command squad, I'm going to go in with the Thunder Hammer, which is actually a power fist at first. So 3 attacks, because 2 basic and then +1 for the charge. So this is the power fist going in first for 2 hits, and then strength 8. So that is
2 penetrates.
2 penetrating hits on the rear armour, and then the vehicle will do nothing. So it's shaken and stunned. I'll move on to the rest of the attacks. So I have 2 guys who are equipped with power axes. So they count as additional close combat weapons. So 8 attacks from those guys, hitting on 3s. At strength 5, looking at 5s and 6s to glance. So there is 1 penetrating hit and 1 glance. So the tank is gone, but the question now is, does it explode and cause damage to the guys on the inside? Power axis being AP2, and it does.
Oh
the
my
vehicle
God.
does explode on the roll of a 6.
Yeah.
So 5 guys inside,
Yeah.
wounding them on 4s, all wounded.
Woohoo! Let's see if I can save them. One of them goes
guy
down.
goes down.
So with that exploding rhino, the squad's gotten out. I do need a pinning test now,
Fail!
which they don't, fortunately, because the sergeant's still alive, just though. And let's see how big the explosion is. Oh look, it gets them all. So
Shocking!
shockingly
explosion.
enough, he gets 5 of them and causes wounds to 2 of them.
2 up armour saves, both fine. There's a lot to go through here. We've got the wolf versus the lion.
Yep. So there's a lot of special rules in play, not only from the 2 Primarchs, but the units involved as well. So, firstly, the lion has stasis grenades, which reduces charges and being, like, basically reduces the enemy unit to initiative 1. So it means all my stuff will be going before Derek's in this turn.
Apart from the Hammer of Wrath.
Oh, you get Hammer of Wrath, do you? Oh, well, there you go. So you get
Hammer of Wrath on the charge.
Really? I did not know that. So you give your Hammer of Wrath first, then it'll be the lion and his challenge.
Yep.
Then it'll be my Centurion, and then it'll be my inner circle with the Slayer of Kings, not Slayer of Kings, the Reaper of Hosts inner circle ability, which means they get +1 attack when they're outnumbered. So starting up, you get your Hammer of Wrath.
So I'll do the Hammer of Wrath first, and there's only 3 guys that actually managed to get to base. So Hammer of Wrath first. So that is 2 Hammer of Wrath wounds.
So 2 wounds.
Oh my word!
After that bullshit, can't believe that.
Neither can I, mate.
So normally, lion is a higher. Sorry, wolf is a higher initial weapon skill. So he's weapon skill 9 against my weapon skill 8, and he's got his ridiculous armor thing which reduces my weapon
-1
skill.
to hit.
But the lion always hits on a 4 no matter what. So he gets his 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. So that is 2 mastercrafted. So 2 hits with his fleshbane from the lion sword, 1 wound.
So 1 wound, 1 4-up armor save from the Wolf King, who fails. So Russ takes a wound. First blood to the lion.
The Centurion's going next, initiative 5. He's got a Tyrannic Greatsword. So again, only AP 3, so it's going to be trickier to get through this armor, but it does cause instant death. So hitting on 4s. Yep, so those and that. So 2 wounds.
So 2 2-up armor saves.
Yep.
So 2 guys will die.
Yeah,
2 guys are fine.
The remaining 2 inner circle are next, again armed with Tyrannic Greatswords. So hitting on 4s again, because again they get the +1 weapon skill for against. It's hitting on 4s, sorry. So all of those hit this time, and then 2s to wound. That is 5 2+ bundles, 2+ armor saves this
So
time.
5. I'll be taking these 2 at a time because then you'll be getting the characters. So 2-ups, 2-ups.
Oh!
So 2 guys die. And then this one will be onto the guy behind, who is fine. So 2 of the Varagyr have fallen to the Tyrannic Great Blades of the Lion's host. Now the Wolf gets to strike back. So I'm going to be splitting his attacks as per his special rule. So 4 of his attacks will be on Hellwinter, which is his axe, which is +2 strength, AP2, and mastercrafted. So these attacks are hitting on 3s, mastercrafted. So 3 hits, and then strength 8 against toughness 6, so 2s to wound.
Three
so
wounds.
that is 3 wounds on the lion.
So 3 invulnerable saves, and I get to reroll the first failed, which I do.
Right, and then we are going to go in with Belmite, his sword. So his sword is strength as user, AP2, melee, shred, and sever life. So we'll come on to that in a moment. So first things first, 3 attacks hitting on 3s, 2 hits. Strength 6 on toughness 6, wounding on 4s, so 1 wound.
Yeah,
So 1 save of your invert,
fine.
which is saves. Next, striking, despite being initiative step 1, my Legion Praetor with his Paragon blade is going to strike into the unit. So he's going to get 5 attacks. So 5 attacks, hitting on 4s, so only 1 hit. And wounding on a, that will certainly wound it.
Which I make my invulnerable save.
Your invulnerable save. Now the Circle of Varagyr will attack. So I have a whopping number of attacks here, and I do have a mix of weapons to choose from, but I will be choosing the weapons that are Strength 8 AP2, because I'm initiative 1.
I'm shocked.
You're shocked, I'm shocked. So here we go. So these are weapon skill 6, so these are hitting on 3s.
Yep.
Not too bad. And then strength 8, so wounding on 2s.
Yep.
With instant death. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds on the unit.
Alright, let's do them one at a time, shall we? Invulnerable save. Fine. Invulnerable save. 1 dead. Invulnerable save. Invulnerable save.
Dead.
Invulnerable save.
Dead.
So that's the unit gone.
How many left?
So that's because he's part of the unit. The Delegatus was there, so that's instant death as well. So that was what, 5? 2 left onto the Russ, onto the line. It takes a wound. And the last one is fine. So the lion takes a wound.
So 1 wound each.
Yeah.
But now I've got it will not die, because Russ is one of the most stubborn models in the universe. And he gets his wound back, so he's now back on full wounds.
Dark Angel's turn 3 movement. A little bit trickier this time. I've got to actually think about what I'm doing now. So again, I've moved up the Contemptor to get the side armour, so the flare shield isn't going to be as a hindrance to the assault cannons going in. I've moved away from the command squad, the very scary command squad, and I'll be trying to take down the remaining of the flamer squad. See if I can cause some damage to that. Then I have disembarked this tactical squad out. So basically I need to wipe out this squad here. I've got a decent way of dealing with it, because I've got my Praetor now back up and operational, and my Centurion is still operational as well. Now, depending on what happens will depend on what shoots this lone land speeder javelin, because I do have my Spartan, which is turned around to take aim at it. We'll be getting its ridiculous jinx saves though, so just see what happens with that. The squad that was inside the building have disembarked, ready to take on the recon squad that were there. And that is my movement. Starting up with my shooting, the recon squad has moved away from the command squad and taken up into the fire, into the flamer squad. So 8 of them there, 8 shots from the bolters, hitting on 3s, so that's 1 miss, and wounding on 3s because I'm within 12 inches of a unit with a rapid fire weapon because of the Iron Ring protocol. So that is 1, 2, 3, or still only 3 wounds.
3 wounds, 3 saves, and 2 guys died, 1 guy lives.
With that Rhino, I'm going to try and finish off the last remaining Flamer Marine. So, that's a new one. Let's roll that again. So it hits, and it kills him.
He did.
So that is that squad wiped out. Next up is the Contemptor Mortis, now free of the flare shield from the Spartan, getting into the side armour there. So get my carries assault platinum cannons, hitting on 2, so that's just those 2 that missed. So 6s I need to rend, and I get to re-roll the ones that don't because of tank hunters. So that is another one, so and another 2. So I need 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s. So 3s and 4s to glance, 5s and 6s to penetrate. So that is 3, 1 penetrate and 2 glances. So it's reduced to 1 hull point. The penetrate does a 3, which is stunned. Shaken. I knew this. Starting up with the sergeant from the tactical squad on the building, attacking the recon marines there. So he's going to fire a crack grenade, a bit different to the normal stasis grenades. So he hits, and he wounds.
Dead.
So that's 1 dead. And then all the bolters from the marines there, opening fire, hitting on 3s, and wounding on 3s as well, because I'm within 12 inches. So that is 2, 4, 6, 9 wounds altogether.
Don't want any different, so that's wiped out.
A squad gone. I'll take that. The second tactical squad is going to open fire with, again, the sergeant with his grenade launcher, using a stasis grenade again though. So, oh, it scatters a bit though. So it still hits them and gets 3. Gets 3 of them.
Yay, stunned again for the third turn in a row.
Yep, that's what happens. 1, 2 wounds as well.
2 wounds on troopers, 1 guy dies.
So, and then I've got my remaining bolters. So 18 shots from the bolters into the marines, which are now stasis. So hitting on 3s like a normal marine. And then wounding on 3s for them within 12 inches.
There was a 2 there.
Was there a 2 there? I'll get rid of that one. That is 2, 4, 6, 8. Another 9 wounds.
Right, so the nearest model here is going to be I believe it's going to be the Paragon guy. But then we'll double check because it's the sergeant. I'll just tank them all on the sergeant. So 6 inches. 6 inches. So I'll take them all on the sergeant to start with because why not? You've done this to me.
Yep, I've done it before.
How many? 2,
9.
4, 6, 8, 9. Watch me fail the first one.
I hope so.
More than
Because that's what I would do.
Saves, 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 saves,
Oh.
saves, 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 and saves.
There we go, yeah, I thought that might be
That's
the case.
vengeance from the last game.
With the Predator Executioner now up and running, it's going to take a shot into this squad right here. So if I hit it, it's 5. So let's roll those properly. So that's 1 hit for 5. A scatter of 2 inches, which is to there. Gets another 3, so we're on 8. And then a scatter of 2 inches the other way, which gets 3. So 11 altogether. That is 11. That is 11 wounds.
11. So the sergeant is the closest model. However, I will be looking out onto the combat shields until they die.
That's
so,
there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10.
11. Right, so look out, sir. Success, combat shield. He dead. Look out, sir. Fails. Sergeant is dead.
We wouldn't have got an arm save. Has he got a combat shield?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Next guy fails, and then it's going to be how many more? The rest of the unit. Wipes out the unit from plasma fire.
With the Grey Slayer squad gone, it frees my Seeker and Omega up to do something else. So, I need to take out this javelin before anything else. Now, as much as Ed wants me to fire the heavy plasma burn,
Do it.
it's rubbish.
It's an Omega tank destroyer.
Yes, but it's rubbish. So,
Omega infantry killer.
it is, absolutely, and that's the way to do it. So, hitting on 3s with twiddling. So all of those hit. Now it's strength 7, side armour of a javelin is
11.
11, so that is, was it 5, so that is 11 That's 10, so those ones don't do anything, but those got a glance and a penetrate.
So, come on, the Jinx saves, 4 ups. It's got 1 whole point left.
Ooh.
So, slight change to that one. We're going to roll a dice because we didn't determine which one was the pen and which one was the glance. On a 1, 2, or 3, it was the glance.
Yep.
On a 4, 5, or 6, it was the penetrating hit. It was the glance. So, the penetrating hit goes through.
So let's find out what happens. It is a 3, so it's shaken.
Snap firing on the snap fire. Yeah!
Oh well. The Spartan now is going to take some long bomb shots at the remaining 1 hull pointed javelin there. So opening fire, I need 3 to hit with it. And so 2 misses, but twin linked. So 3 hits, and with its armor 11, that is a glance from that, and 2 penetrates.
So glancing hit, jinking first, which it jinks. 2 penetrating hits, jinking, and it goes down.
It does, and it goes down, but it doesn't do anything.
Goodbye,
One
javelin.
annoying javelin out of the way. And then rounding up my shooting, I've got 2 rhinos left with their multi-melters. They're going to try and take this last hull point off the Spartan. One of them is behind cover, so the first one in front, let's see if it hits. And it does. I need a 6 to glance it, which I don't get it. The next one hits, but doesn't do anything either, so the Spartan's still sticking around. Striking at initiative 7, this time my stasis grenades are not in effect, unfortunately. So initiative 7, the Lion and the Wolf are going at the same time, but we'll do mine first. So hitting on 4s, because I always hit on 4s, with Mastercrafted. So that's 1 hit. Oh no. And Fleshbane, so that's 1 wound.
So 1 wound, 1 save with Russ's 4 up, which he fails. So Russ takes 1 wound. Russ striking back with Hellwinter is axe, so this is Mastercrafted, so hitting on 3s, Mastercrafted thankfully. 2 hits, strength 8, wounding on 2s, so that's 2 wounds at AP 2.
So 4 plus invulnerable, fails 1, but I get to re-roll it, so Met takes that one, so I passed both my invulnerable saves.
Okay, then he goes in with his sword, so hitting on 3s, so 2 hits, strength 6 with shred. So that is 2 wounds at 8v2.
So 2 wounds, so he takes 2 more wounds, so he's down to 3.
Takes 2 wounds, however, it's got life sever. So I need to double check the rules for that and we'll get right back to you. I have the tome. So with the life sever special rule, the model suffers 1 or more wound from this weapon and is not slain. You roll 2d6 and compare this to the wounded model's current toughness. Now his toughness is 6. So Ian needs to roll 6 or less, otherwise he takes additional wounds.
Which he will take additional wounds.
So he's going to take an additional 2 wounds at AP 2.
But I get my invulnerable save, which he makes 1 of them, so that's 1 more wound on him.
At initiative step 6, the Legion Praetor is moving in with his Paragon blade, so he has 4 attacks with 1 hit.
Ooh.
And strength 5, so looking at 5, so no wounds. So no wounds from the Paragon blade. The Varagyr will now strike at initiative step 1 using a combination of Chain Fist and Power Fist. So these attacks are weapon skill 5, so hitting on 4s.
Oh,
not good. The Lion might live. We will see these, however, are strength 8.
Only 2 of them have to get through, D.
So that will be 4 wounds, so 4 saving throws.
Shall I do them one at a time?
Go for it.
So the first one fails. Next one passes.
Saves.
Ah! He goes down.
Russ will be furious that the Varagyr have taken the kill from him. So with Russ and the Varagyr winning that round of combat, they have chosen to move forward in their advance towards the enemy lines. I'm probably going to split this unit up now. There's enough death in that unit to seriously deal with the vast majority of other things. Turn 3 reserve rolls for the space field. I've got 1 javelin still to come on, 3 up. So the javelin is on. The question is going to come on the left flank on a 1 or a 2, or the right flank on a 4-5. It's a 5 or a 6 I pick. We'll see where that comes in shortly. Javelin from the flank, going for the Omega tank destroyer or infantry killer. It's the only option I've really got. There's not much left on the other side of the table that's really posing a massive threat to me, so I'm going to roll down this way. On this side, I've moved a single Volkite support gun model into the building, so he'll actually claim a cover save. Obviously, they are still a scoring unit, so still scoring that. Over here, the Terminator, the Varagyr command squad has moved up in preparation to charge those guys and take them down if they can. The Spartan has turned slightly, remaining stationary rather than turning to bring its las cannons to bear onto the Contemptor Mortis. Russ and the Varagyr after their victory. Russ has sent the Varagyr after the Spartan, and Russ and the Praetor are making a beeline for the remainder of the infantry. Javelin open fire at the Sicker and Omega, starting with the Hunter Killer missiles, so 2 Hunter Killers hitting on 2s, 2 hits, 2 Cyclones hitting on 2s, 2 hits, and a multi-misser, which hits.
Whoa.
So I'll roll the multi-misser separately. So craft missiles rear armor looking at 4s, so that is 2 penetrating hits. And the multi-misser within short range is a glance. So
it's gone.
So it is gone, and I can't do anything else, and I can't make it explode with the crack missiles. So that is the Sicker and Omega number 2 destroyed. Company command squad opening fire with their bolt pistols with the full intent of charging. So 5 shots at ballistic skill 4, so 3s to hit, all hits.
Yeah.
And then 4s to wound, so 2 wounds, 2 saves.
2 armor saves. Failed one of them goes down.
Spartan opening fire now. Now because it's shaken, one of the weapons will be firing on full ballistic skill using Power of the Machine Spirit. The other one will be snap firing. So I'll fire the snap fire first, hitting on 6s. There's one of them. So that's 1 hit, and then twin linked at full ballistic skill. That is 3 hits. So front armor 13, looking at 4s to glance, 5s and 6s for the pen. So
nothing.
Cock dice. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's a glance.
Oh, sorry, 1 glance.
Yep, so I'll take my invulnerable save, which I pass.
Tactical support squad firing now. The Master of Signal is going to use his comm signal to actually give them +1 ballistic skill. Now one of these models moved, so he's only going to be firing at ballistic skill 1. So he's snap shooting, so 2 shots hitting on 6s, which he fails, but then I've got 6 shots hitting on 2s. 4 hits and strength 6, wounding on 2s. That is
4 wounds.
4 wounds, 4 saves on attack squad.
Yeah, so I'll do my 2 first, which are fine, and then 2 again, which are fine.
So no more wounds from there. Assault phase for the Space Wolves. I'm going to choosing to do a multi-charge here. So my attempt is, my primary target is going to be the Rhino, and the overspill is hopefully going to be the tactical squad if I can get there. Now it's a 10-inch charge to the tactical squad, but it's only a 4-inch charge to the Rhino. So primarily, obviously I've declared my charge, so Ian will get to do his Overwatch fire with his tactical squad with the models that can actually draw line of
go on, I
sight.
can see. 7 of them, of the tactical marines, can see the incoming charge, so let's get my Overwatch done for that. Hitting on 6s, so 1, which causes a wound.
So wounding, so saves.
Yeah, of course it does.
So here comes the charge. So 4 inches to the Rhino and then a 10-inch to the unit. So fingers crossed I'll actually get to the unit, which I managed to do on a whopping roll of an 11. So Russ is piling straight into that unit, and the Legion Praetor is going to go for that Rhino to smash it on the way through. So the Varagyr successfully managed to make their 1-inch charge to the Spartan tank, which is going to put them straight into close combat, and with 2 chain fists it's going to be significantly devastating. So going on to the attacks from there, I have 8 attacks from chain fists, hitting on 3s. That's way too many, more than I needed.
Yeah.
So that is 6.
Yep.
So the first one is a penetrate.
Yep.
The second one is a
May fail.
fail. Third one is a penetrate. Fourth one is a fail. Fifth one, penetrate.
That's it gone.
So it's dead,
Yeah.
but does it explode? We'll get to that in a minute. So
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah.
Does it penetrate?
It does.
So 4 rolls on the penetrating table at pluses. So yes, it explodes.
Yeah.
So we don't need a roll for how big this explosion is going to be because they're in base-to-base contact with the tank.
So 4s. That is 3 wounds.
So
Die!
3 wounds on the Varagyr, 3 saves. 3
Yeah.
saves it is. So I'm declaring my charge against the remaining reconnaissance squad.
Yep. I get my Overwatch. So
Overwatch first.
and my Overwatch. I get 1, which is pretty good. And it does a wound.
One save with a 2 up, it
We-
fails. So
I got
one
one.
guy goes down. So my charge is still 2 inches, so I will make my charge, which means I'm successfully
Yeah.
in. We'll move those models in and get to that round of combat. So at initiative step 4, because
Yeah,
all the weapons that are left in the squad are either power axes or power fists.
So now's the time for the recon squad to shine. 4 to hit. So 2 hits, which causes 1 wound.
So 1 wound, 1 saving throw, which I make, and then swing back with 9 attacks. Sorry, 12 attacks.
Ugh.
Too many dice. Hitting on 3s.
Yep.
And killing on 2s.
You look, just going to make all those 1s. Well, they're dead.
So they're wiped out, but so the squad will consolidate, and they consolidate a whopping 7 inches.
1d6.
Try again. 5 inches. So with Russ charging in there, Russ is going to force a leadership, fear test
On that tactical marines there. So let's see if they pass. And they do, just with the sergeant still alive.
So Russ is going to wail in there. Now he has made a disordered charge, so he's not going to get his bonus for charging, and he's going to be using exclusively his sword because it's got shred. So I am hitting on 3s, and I am killing on 2s, re-rolling. So that is 4 dead marines.
Yep. So I have got my sergeant in that first 4, so I will do my lookout, sirs. So, unfortunately, not. So he does get hacked to bits.
Praetor's just going to wail into the back of the Rhino using his Paragon blade. So, 4 attacks, because obviously he made a disordered charge as well. So, 2 hits, strength 5, 8v2. So, nothing. He actually fails to do any damage to the back of that Rhino.
The Dark Angels tactical squad do actually get to fight back against the wolf. Because of the bonuses that you get, I am actually hitting on 5s though. So a little bit different. That is 3 hits. And wounding on 6s, sorry. And nothing. Nothing at all. So you definitely won that combat.
Win the combat by 4. Yep. Leadership test.
Leadership test. They fail massively. And I run.
Does the wolfkin catch you?
Yes.
He catches you. So we had an interesting one. Obviously Russ won the combat quite impressively, quite curb stomping those Dark Angel Marines. However, because they didn't split the units between the Praetor and Russ, they form a unit. Now, the Legion Praetor is still engaged in close combat with the Rhino, so he's technically still locked. So Russ cannot make a sweep against the tactical squad that actually remains.
Can't actually execute them.
So he can't kill them off.
So they do actually manage to get away.
So Ian's going to make his roll now to see how far they can actually run.
And they run 7 inches away.
7 inches away from Russ.
So we'll move them away and see if I can rally them next turn. So with it now being my turn 4, I've got to see if my tactical squad rallies from that onslaught. And they do. So they'll be turning around and snap shooting. Dark Angels movement turn 4. A little bit more interesting, a bit more tactical decisions here now. I've moved the Predator, so the back of it is no longer facing, so the rear armour isn't facing that. Admittedly, you're still going to get these multi-melter in range and still cause havoc with that. I've moved up the 2 rhinos in the middle, because at the minute I need to start thinking about objectives and what I need to do to complete that. In order to capture the middle, I just need to take out the Spartan. And I've got that. And then I'm thinking I've got the squad in the building there. They are within fury of the Legion range within Russ, so plenty of shots going in against them. Again, I just need to cause more damage to them. The multi-melters, see what they can do, but fingers crossed they'll be able to do something. I've still got the Varagyr here to deal with. Hopefully though, the plasma cannons from the Predator Executioner will be able to sort that out. I've still got this Rhino hiding over here from the old recon squad that was there. It is, however, getting surrounded by the command squad and all their power fists. So, still interesting. The Contemptor has managed to move up so that one of the carries at the silk hands will be in the side armour, but the other one still classed as being in the front. So if I can take out the Spartan, I can capture this centre, no man's land. Starting off with the easy shooting phases, I've got my Rhino here with its multi-melter. See if I can take a shot, which of course it misses. It's also got its combi bolter, which gets 2 hits and no wounds. So that was nice and easy. Moving over, I've got the multi-melter from the Rhino there. It is snap shooting, so I'll snap shoot into the back end of the Spartan, and it doesn't do anything. The Contemptor carries assault cannon. I'll do the one in the front first, which 4 of them hit, so I need 6s to get my rends. None of them there though.
Tank hunter.
Oh, of course. So 1, but I need a 5 or a 6 for it to go through, which it doesn't. The one in the side, again hitting on. Come on, lads.
Only 4 hits.
Yeah. Get my tank hunter. So
there's 1.
There's 1. There's 2. So that's 2, 1 penetrating and 1 glance. So the Spartan's gone.
Goodbye, Spartan.
The Plasma Executioner is going to take fire at the Varagyr squad, which is currently in my objective, in my deployment zone. So let's see if I can hit them first. So the first one gets a hit for 2. The next one gets a hit for another 2. And then the last one scatters 2 inches. Still gets 2 though. So that's 6 altogether. 6 of them. So 4 wounds altogether though.
So one at a time. So 4 wounds to take. 4 lovely dice to roll. So first one on a 4-up. Saves. 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 And saves again. Bring on the heavy bolters.
Heavy bolters now. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. That's 2 more wounds.
2 2-ups. Both fine. Varagyr walk through the flames.
So the squad that rallied, they can only fire snapshots, so they're going to snapshot into Russ and the other Praetor that's there as well. So hitting on 6s is 2, 3 of them. Wounding on 5s, 6s. So nothing. So apologies, because I'm within 12 inches, I actually have +1 to wound as well. So I did actually cause 1 wound, Dave.
2-up armor save.
Which is totally fine. The multi-melter from the lone Rhino there as well is going to take a shot into the Russ and the Praetor squad, and it hits, and it causes a wound.
So Russ will take this on his chin, so he fails, so Russ takes 1 wound.
Next up is the combi bolters. Because I did move 6, it does have snap fires only, so both of those missed, but I get the reroll. Did to nothing. So I think it's my last bit of shooting for this turn. The squad inside the building are going to Fury the Legion down onto Leman Russ and the Praetor there. But first things first, stasis grenade on his head. Let's see. And it hits directly, so he's initiative 1. Once again, I forget because I hit him, I can actually cause damage to him. I do need a 6 to wound him, which I don't do. So 28 shots raining down onto the Legion Praetor and Russ there. So all of these dice hitting on 3s. Let's get rid of these. There's a 1 there. Wounding on 5s because I get +1 to wound within half-inch range. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wounds altogether.
8 wounds, lovely jubbly.
Not bad for the bolters.
So I'm going to start taking these on the Legion Praetor, and then I'll decide to put some on Russ. So Legion Praetor on a 2-up.
Yep.
Oh, takes a wound.
He's down to 2.
That's down to 2. Another one.
Oh, down to 1.
So I'm going to switch over to Russ now. So look out, sir, to Russ, which he does. Russ takes it. Look out, sir. Successful. Russ takes it. Look out, sir. Successful. And Russ takes it again. So 2 wounds off the Praetor. My Javelin has moved up to flank the Predator, so I might not be able to get its rear armour, but I will get its side armour. And as soon as that's only 11, well, we'll see what damage we can do there. Russ has moved up, and this time I've split the unit, so Russ is going straight for that tactical squad to hopefully tear them apart. And the Legion Praetor is positioned himself quite nicely so he can have a pot shot with his bolt pistol prior to assaulting that Rhino. The Varagyr are split up, seeing as they're going to be taking incoming fire or more incoming fire from the Predator, but also I do have that Contemptor to worry about on the far side. My Legion Command Squad has moved up towards the Rhino. Their plan is to basically smash that Rhino to bits and then move back and possibly even may make their way towards that Contemptor Dreadnought, because there's a lot of power fists in that unit, can cause a lot of damage. Land Speeder opening fire, he's not going to get cover from this, however 2 crack missiles into the side armour, so hitting on 2s, 2 hits, and the multi-misser hits, so 2d6 on the Melta is a glance.
It's gone.
So it
You only had the 1 hull point.
There. And then the 2 crack missiles, 1 pen, so it doesn't matter, it can't explode and do any damage, so it's basically destroyed. So this is the first time Russ has ever fired this weapon system in any game I've played. This is Horn Splitter, which is a bolt gun gifted to him by
Ferris?
not Ferris, it was by
Vulcan.
Vulcan crafted it himself by his own hand. So this is a Strength 4, AP3, Assault 3 bolt gun with rending. So hitting on 2s, all hit.
Force.
And forced to murderize, so 1 guy dies at AP3.
1 dead, tactical marine.
Kasplat! Legion Praetor is going to throw his crack grenade at the rear, trying to get it in a nice exhaust. So hitting on a 2, he hits. And then strength 6 on the rear armour. It's a penetrating hit. What does it do? Nothing. Stuns it a little bit, but nothing more than that. Firing the tactical support squad with the Volkites. Master signals using his comm segment to give them +1 ballistic skill. It's a tactical squad on top of the building. So here we go. So that is 6 hits. Strength 6, looking at 2s to wound. That is all wounds, so 6 wounds.
So once again, 2 at a time because my sergeant's there. So the first 2 is fine. The next 2 takes 1, so 1 of them goes down. Another 1 goes down, and then on the sergeant, it's fine.
So 2 more hits on the unit with defrag. That is 1 more wound.
So I'll take a save, which takes another 1 down.
So 3 guys die, which I do believe is 25%.
It is. So I'll take my leadership test. Which he passes.
Shooting with the company command squad, I'm going to throw a crack grenade straight at that Rhino. It's got a front armour of 11, but you never know with a crack grenade. So I miss with the crack grenade, so they will be moving straight onto the assault. It is a 2-inch charge, which I successfully make. And I will wail in there straight away with my multiple attacks from my power fists. So hitting on 3s. And then strength 8 on the rear armour of 10, looking at 2s. So that is 1 annihilated vehicle. 4 rolls to see if it does actually explode, which it does.
Yep.
So roll for that distance. They'll all be within base to base.
So that is all of them.
All of them.
That's 4 left. That is
And
3
3
wounds. 3
3
ones, team.
wounds on the normal guys. They're all fine. They walk through the flames. Don't look back.
That is an exploded Rhino.
Praetor moving in for the assault. It's a 2-inch charge. I'm going to roll it anyway. 2 inches. He's still in base to base. Again, he's going to be going with his Great Frost weapon, except, sorry, not his Great Frost weapon, his Paragon blade. But this time he does get the bonus for a charging because he is no longer he's no longer doing a split charge. So hitting on 3s, all hits.
This might be my
Strength 5, looking at 5s. That's 1 glance,
They only have
which
the
is
1 hull point
enough
left.
to take it down. So that is another Rhino wrecked. Final assault at the turn. Russ is going to charge into the remaining 5 members of that tactical squad to cause some fury. However, obviously, they are going to get their Overwatch shots.
Get my Overwatch, so 10 shots. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. Get my +1, nothing, no.
And Russ charging in.
Yeah.
Russ makes it in quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And that'll be a fear test for Ian.
So I'll take my fear test now, which they fail, so I'm actually not very good at all. With the stasis grenade, it reduces Leman Russ down to initiative 1. So I am going first. However, because of the fear, I am hitting on 6s. So let's do this. 2. I got 2 hits against him. Wounding on 6s again though. So nothing.
It's Russ striking back at initiative step 1. 7 attacks, going in with his sword. 3s to hit. And 2s to kill with shred. So I'll have that one shredding. That is 4 dead Marines.
Yeah, so I lose that combat by 4. I failed that leadership test, so let's see how far they run. Not enough.
Not far enough. Russ runs them down and tears them to pieces. Consolidation for Russ. We will consolidate 4 inches.
Dark Angels turn 5. The Rhino that was aiming for the other objective, the other deployment zone, has now turned around and made a U-turn to go back to my objective, because at the minute I have got nothing holding my deployment zone. So trying to stop Derek from getting 7 victory points from there. Hopefully though, he's got 4 Varagyr. I've got my Contemptor Mortar still able to fire. I've got a grenade launcher from the Sergeant in there. But that's about it. Let's see how this plays out. So a bit of a cheeky play here. I've moved my Rhino, I've flat outed him from where he was into this position now. I've had to pivot him, so he's now in the deployment zone to count as a scoring unit. It is very risky because Derek's Varagyr are still here and can still cause a lot of damage to me. So hopefully my Contemptor Mortis, which is now going to open fire into the Varagyr, will murder them. So let's find out. Hitting on 2s. Get those rends come on. So that's 1 rend, but otherwise that is 8 other wounds.
So what do you want me to take?
Do the rend first.
So I'll take the rending on the Sergeant. Sorry, I'll look out Sir the Rend on the squad, which I failed to do. So the Sergeant's 4 up, which is saved. So that's the rend. How many more?
8.
So 8 more saves. So I will be looking out Sir these. So look out Sir. Failed. So Sergeant is fine. Look out Sir. It's fine. So saves. Look out Sir. Fine. Saves. Look out Sir. Fine. Sorry, fails. Sergeant saves. Look out Sir. Fine. Trooper passed. Failed to look out Sir, but saved.
And the last one.
Look out Sir, successful and
Fine.
saved. So they have taken all that withering firepower from that carrier, those twin carrier assault cannons.
It's not looking good, but I've got 1 grenade launcher from the Sergeant. He's going to fire a crack grenade into the squad as well. See if it does anything, which misses. So I think this might be game over in the last turn, D. Last turn, you've got to kill a Rhino to score loads of victory points.
My tactical support squad is holding fast. They are within range of the few Marines that they can actually still draw a line of sight to. Over this side, my Javelin has actually moved up to bring its weapons to bear. Now, initially I was going to go for the Contemptor Mortis, but it's not actually a scoring unit, so it's going to drop its entire payload on those Marines up there. This is going to be heralded by the Praetor and the Wolf King himself using Horn Splitter with his bolt gun. So see if I can't do some serious damage to that tactical squad to finish those off, being the only scoring unit left on the table for the Dark Angels. And down here, we're going to have a demonstration on how you take apart a Rhino with a Power Fist and a Chain Fist by the Varagyr Terminators. Over in this corner, one of the things that people tend to forget is that the company command squad actually come with bolt guns as standard. So I have got 2 bolt gun shots in the back of that Contemptor's armour, which is only 10. So fingers crossed I might get a couple of glances. If I'm really lucky, I might even take it down. But we'll see how that rolls come the shooting phase. Tactical support squad. The Master of Signals is going to use his comm signal to give them +1 ballistic skill again. So I've got those troops that I can actually see. Now there's only actually 3 models within range, but D-Flag goes beyond range, so it goes onto the unit. So 8 shots hitting on 2s, that is 7 hits. Wounding on 2s for 7.
Oh, right, okay.
So 7 saving throws on troopers because you moved the sergeant away.
Well, the sergeant's still 3 in the way there. So the first one of them goes down. Next one, another one goes down. Onto the sergeant, who's fine. Onto the sergeant, who dies. And then onto another marine, who dies. So that's 5 marines dead altogether. Sorry, no, 4. Because I passed 1 with my Artificer armor.
So D-Flag continuing on, wounding on 2. That's another 4 wounds.
So another 4 armor saves. Takes another 1 down. So 5 Marines dead altogether.
Had planned to fire the Javelin, Russ and the Praetor into the remaining unit, but unfortunately with the massively improved performance of the Tactical Support Squad's Volkites, they now don't have any targets to actually shoot. So Ian's going to be taking his leadership test.
Yep, and this is a really important leadership test to pass, dice. So, because if I fail this, I don't have anything capturing the objective. But they have failed.
Because the Sergeant is dead.
Because the Sergeant is dead, so I've unfortunately failed that armor save, which means they no longer count as capturing the middle objective.
Land Speeder Javelin, without its primary target, is going to switch to its secondary target of the Contemptor Mortars. 2 crack missiles in the face, hitting on 2, so 2 hits. Front armour of 13, so looking at 5s to glance. So nil power on the glance. Moving on to the company command squad. 2 guys with their bolt guns can actually see, but they're not within rapid fire range. So I've got two guys shooting who both hit. Rear armour is 10, so I'm glancing on 6s for nothing. It was a long shot, but it was worth it. Varagyr going in for the assault. They can't fail their charge, so I'm just going to go straight to the close combat attacks. Is 8 attacks off the 2 guys holding chain fists. So hitting on 3s. That is more than what I'm going to need for this. So 6 hits. Which is a pen, a pen, a pen, a pen. I'm just going to roll those 4 and see how I get on. Shockingly, they've all gone through.
But no explosion.
But no explosion. So that is 1 wrecked Rhino.
And that's the end of the game.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's entirely understandable. That was a horrific game. Not the way either of us were thinking of going.
No,
So-
absolutely not. I was expecting to get annihilated before I even got the combat,
But again, once again, my dice rolls being the pinnacle of perfection right there. Absolutely atrocious. But I had a thoroughly enjoyable game there, D.
that was a very good game.
So, looking at the final scores, I scored
I feel bad.
nothing. Nothing at all. With that last remaining tactical squad in the middle of the table, failing their leadership test. Not even the 5 points for the no man's land.
And I scored 13.
So you get your deployment zone, my deployment zone,
Yeah.
and then Lord of War.
Lord of War, Price of Failure, Warlord,
Yep.
and then Attrition because I've got more units left on the tabletop.
I don't think attrition was part of the victory conditions though.
No.
No, but
Last man.
last man standing. That's the one. But yes, so 13-0 to the dirty Space Wolves.
Considering I've got what?
Like
12 models left?
Yeah, but
They're all hard models.
well, this is it. I was just like, those Varagyr didn't die.
It was the lone Space Wolf with the Power Fist.
Well, that's it. That one guy taking out both of my
sabers.
sabers in the first turn by just merely backhanding it.
You killed his mates.
You killed. Of course I did. Of course I did. I had to. But with that, we want to do a little bit more one-on-one with the wolf and the lion.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on.
Ideally, what I would have loved to have done during that combat is basically Russ telling the Varagyr to go off and smash some of the stuff and allow the Lion and Russ to actually fight it out themselves instead of the Varagyr basically just going to stamp on his head.
Yeah, which is what they did.
Which is what they did, but at the end of the day, if it was, like in the books or anything like that, Russ would have just sent his Varagyr away.
An actual honourable combat.
Honourable combat, so we're going to roll out an honourable combat for you after the game.
Absolutely.
And we'll see who wins this time. It was a good game.
Good game.
Welcome to the arena of death.
Celebrity deathmatch.
Celebrity deathmatch. We have the lion versus the wolf.
Yep.
So first thing we're going to do is roll off for initiative.
No units, just one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Let's see who gets to go first. Of course.
So Russ is going first, so
Yep.
Russ is going to move, then he's going to charge, so Russ goes first.
But I get my Overwatch, start with my Arclight Fusel. All of those missed though, so not doing anything.
So now, unfortunately, due to status grenades, Leman Russ is initiative 1.
Yep.
So the lion is going first.
So all of them hitting on 4s, Mastercrafted. That's more like it. Why couldn't I roll this in the game? Fleshbane, that is 4 wounds.
So 4 wounds at AP 2, so going down to his 4 of Invern. He takes 3 wounds.
Ooh.
So moving on to the Wolf King's attacks.
Initiative 1, yeah.
And initiative 1, I'm going to be going with 3 attacks with his
Axe.
4 attacks with his axe, and I'm going to go with 3 attacks with his sword. So axe first. So that is Mastercrafted. So that is 3 hits, strength 8, it 2s to wound. So 2 saves.
So 2 invulnerables are 4+, which
So
I make
1
one of
failed,
them, but I get to
reroll.
reroll it.
So
So
succeed
16.
yet again. So we'll go with his sword. So his sword hits 3 times. Strength 6 with shred. So reroll both of those.
Yep.
So that is 2 AP2s.
which I fail both of those, so take 2
So he
wounds,
takes 2 wounds.
So-
And now you need to take a toughness
Yeah.
test on 2d6,
which I pass.
which you pass. So you don't take any more. So 2 wounds on the lion, 3 wounds on the wolf.
Yep.
It is my turn. So I'll be doing it. He wants a wound back, which I failed to get.
So my turn now. Again, straight into combat there this time, and we're both at the same initiative now. So the stasis grenade no longer taking effect.
Good. Good sucks.
So, but with the lion's collar, with him being down to 4 wounds, he gets an extra attack. He gets another shot. So hitting on 4s again this time, but mastercrafted. So only 3 hits that time. 2s to wound. That is another 3 wounds though.
So 3 wounds, 3 4-up saving throws. So Russ is going to take a dive. He saves 2, loses 1. So Russ is down to 2 wounds. Russ will now strike back again.
Yeah.
I'm going to split my attack. So axe first. So he's a strength 8. So hitting mastercrafted strength 8, which I'm very pleased at. So
Yeah.
2 hits, 2s to wound. That is 1 wound.
Which he makes you save.
Makes a save, and then the sword, which hopefully will cause some damage this turn. So that is only 1 hit. Does it wound? It wounds.
Get my invulnerable save, which I pass.
You save.
So
Moving on to the next round.
I'm going to see if I get my will not die, which I don't. So still on 4 wounds.
Ted's just pointed out that one of those dice that I rolled was a 3, and Leman Russ is higher weapon skill, so he is hitting on 3. So I do actually have 1 more wound to make, so 1 more wound on a 4 with shred, so that's 1 more wound.
Get my invulnerable save again, which I make.
Successfully make. My attack's back now, start of round 3. So again, round 3, ding ding. Russ is
the
going
lion
in
has
with
already
his-
lasted longer in this than he has in the game.
So going in with the axe first. So 3 attacks. So
Hitting on 3s.
mastercrafted, so all hit. Strength 8, looking at 2s to wound. There is 3 wounds at 8v2.
3 saves, one of them, but I get to re-roll that one. So all of those pass.
However, that means you're not going to re-roll an invulnerable save against
Yeah.
the sword. So hitting on 3s with a sword. So that is 2 hits. Strength 6 with shred
So
for 2 wounds.
which I make both my
Oh,
invulnerable saves.
tanks them both.
So again, 6 attacks back from the lion, hitting on 4s. Oh, that's not great, but 1 re-roll. So 2 hits that time. It's not great.
Enough.
Fleshbane gets 2 more wounds.
2 more wounds, 2 more 4-up invuns, or Russ is going to take a dive, and Russ takes a dive! Russ is down! Russ has gone down to the lion!
So with that, it's 1-1 to the 1-1 between the wolf and the lion.